In case I ask question, you can use this one. So try to connect. Fine, I'm not. Okay, what's my center? What's my center? Okay, so let's start. Let's start and round up. Okay, so peace studies. Let me start first of all. Get from you what do you understand by peace. I start with you, Mr. Nkal. Yes, what is the concept of peace?
Peace is that is the rule of law. If you are talking about the bigger picture.
No, use take this thing now. Okay.
Okay, what I understand by peace is abiding by the rules and regulations of every given place, be it family, be it institution, be it government, anywhere. I think as long as the rules and regulation or the law is respected and abided, I think that's peace.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, what do you understand by the word peace?
Yeah, I would say it's a state where there is no war or freedom from any disturbance.
Freedom from any disturbance?
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Vin,
Okay, so what I understand the concept, peace is the absence of war.
absence of war.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yes.
Jawad.
Yes, peace means living together without fear.
Living together without
Fear.
without
Fear.
fear.
Yeah.
Is
And
it possible in
justice,
this world?
respect each other,
Respect each other.
regard nationality or religion or anything.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so it's good that we get that particular concept first of all. Now, let me start with this perception as it relates to peace. When you look at this small boy, I don't know whether to call him small boy, what comes to your mind? Who do you think he is? What would you say? Who do you think he is? Jawa.
Yeah. I would just think he's a young boy, a school student, maybe college student, and looking like a model, as you mentioned.
Okay, he should be a student or
Yeah.
what? Do you think he's a model or student or gang leader?
Of course, this age he must be a student, even if he's a model.
You are presuming.
Yeah, presuming that.
Yes, because you cannot force the person in the school.
Yeah.
So what do you think he is? Who do you think he is? And what do you think he's doing? Options are there: model, student, and gang leader.
Student.
Student, okay.
Yeah.
Miss Vin, who do you think he is? What he's doing, or occupation?
If he posed a little bit like normally, I would think he would be a student. But however, with the eyes, I'm not thinking a little bit like quite scary. So
The eyes is quite scary, so it
yeah,
might
it's like he
affect your
want
decision.
to murder some people. So I'm not sure that he can be at school or anything. So maybe like a gangster or anything.
Wonderful. Okay, Mr. Carlo.
What if I connect all of them together?
Now, the question is, who do you think he is?
He's a student. He's a student model that is aspiring to become a gang leader. But if he asks me to take only one, he's a model.
This is wonderful. So, Mr. Dennis,
It's one picture, but there is a lot behind it. First, I think he's a student because he's young. But then when you try to see his eyes, I will not say that they're eyes of a gang
you and
leader,
Pam, you have the same, you have problem
No.
with his eyes.
but his eyes
Pam, pay
they're
attention.
so emotional.
Vin, please pay attention.
His
Don't
eyes,
be using your phone.
they are so emotional. Looks like he's a sad person, but for starters, he's a student because he looks young and supposed to be in school.
This is wonderful. You see, the point here is that no matter how we define peace in the classroom, your impression still determines what you consider peace to be. Do you agree with that? Your upbringing. No matter how you define peace to be, that peace is situated into what you think and how you feel and how your philosophy of life you have inculcated. Do you want to think, Mkali, this is class, I beg. So, no matter how you define peace, no matter how we read it in academic journals and papers and the classroom, at the end of the day, what comes from you is how you define it. Your background, your experience, your analysis, your perception. What do you think about that, Mr. Dennis? What do you think about it? Even as we all gathered here, no matter how, in fact, even if you want to be very kind to someone, or the way he defines the kindness, he or she depends on how he has perceived kindness to be. Even if you want, for example, like myself, a student is having problem with a school fees or whatever. Even if you try to do everything to assist the person with your own personal fund, the definition is based on his or her upbringing. Sometimes people are scared of kindness simply because of their package, the ground in which they were brought up. And if you're not careful in a multinational kind of environment, you will be in trouble when you want to do something because the way people perceive that which you are giving them may not be what you have in mind. Would you blame them for that? You think you're being kind to someone from Afghanistan. He defines your kindness in relation to his own concept of kindness coming from his background as Afghanistan. You are being kind to Victor, is it Victor or Vin? Vic. You are being kind to Vic. Vic is construed. She's simply entertaining it and accepting it as Vic from the background of Vietnamese. This is a Nkalo from Nigeria. No matter how you try to be very kind, he is trying to situate it with the philosophy of life, the kindness, what he perceived to be kindness. Then this is Uganda, Dennis. No matter, I want you to add or remove what you think about it. The same applies to peace. When you talk about peace, so what do Let's talk. What do you think about it? Because the environment, the upbringing, just as we see now, somebody will easily say he's a model because of concept of modeling he has. The people he think that they are model, they are just like looking like him. Another person, oh, student because he's young, because people like this are students. But there are so many countries they don't go to school, therefore they're not students. Then gang leader, someone will just simply tell you he's a gang leader because he has met a gang leader looking like this young man. In fact, because the person that may have met a gang leader who wears the same clothes like this guy will simply conclude he's a gang leader because that's his own experience. And that's what we're suffering today. So what do you have to say?
Yeah, I would say that every person would choose to take in the piece in a different way depending on the background of a person and the experiences they've gone through. Sometimes, as you have said, you would show kindness to someone, but then the other person might not see it as kindness. They might see it, they might think that maybe you might be honest, or you might be honest, but for them on their side, depending from the background or the experiences they've gone through, they might think that you're trying to use this, there is something you want to get from them, or there is something you want to do to them, but then you're trying to cover up yourself with the kindness you're offering. Yet maybe you might be honest to them, but for them, because of what they've gone through or because of the experiences they've come across with different people, they will not see that. They'll think you want to do something to them. Yeah, so the experiences we've gone through, just like in Uganda, there is a saying that there is no person who is going to help you without them
Getting anything.
Yes, you get that. So you might be honest with your actions, but then the other party, they might see it in a very different way.
Okay, I see. Okay, Nkan, what have you to say?
About,
Nigerian perspective.
about
Okay.
if you're talking about Nigerian perspective, is
No. You are Nigerian. That's
yes,
what I mean. Don't
still-
generalize it. I'm talking about you because you're
yeah,
Nigerian.
for me as a Nigerian, I'm talking about my own experience.
Okay, correct.
Yeah, so because generalizing, I'm talking about a Nigerian, I might be behaving different from most Nigerians. So I would say that nothing is free. Even someone trying to show kindness, even in charity, someone showing charity is buying loyalty. So someone that is giving arms to people or trying to help someone is still looking for something in return. Maybe whenever he or she gets to that point of getting that favor from you, he's expecting it back for you to pay back. But that doesn't still erase the act of kindness. It doesn't stop that law that say that this is kindness. There is still kindness. It still exists. So it depends on the person that is being given that is trying to show the kindness, or the person receiving the kindness, to appreciate it the way they feel like, because people differs, and most people change based on their experiences. Yeah, somebody might try to show kindness, and at the end of the day, what he or she got back is something that will make the person to change, and that is why I would say that is a personal something. Yeah.
Okay, so Vic.
If talking about kindness, and if someone showed kindness to me, first of all, I will adopt about it. Since if very long time ago, maybe I would think that they don't really help me out of the trouble. But nowadays, there is a lot of case that people been framed and come at the end, they will be cheated So the trust to people and public were lost day after day. So at first, when you come to help, I will first doubt about your kindness, and I would think that if you want to help me, then in the end you want something back from me. So it's not very easy for me to trust somebody, and also the kindness in the end. So that's what I think.
Wow, wonderful. Okay, Jawa.
Yes, sir. Can I have the question?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have the question? Like,
The question is that, as we see, and everybody has different interpretation based on background. So, how, and I'm saying that sometimes peace is viewed from that same angle as well. And I use example that somebody is trying to be kind. The kindness you want to give someone, he or she is interpreting it according to his or her own experience.
yeah. So, I mean,
Then I ask, what do you think?
about the kindness.
Now, what do you think? Do you share the same experience that whatever people give, the way they accept your
Kindness.
kindness depends on their background?
Oh yeah, especially like depends on the background, culture, and there's so many factors. Like kindness, like you helping someone that you can do. So most of the time, when what I see, most of the people, especially when you help them, they will think that, I mean, there's give and take, give and take. You help and you expect at least even a person who help, that will not help purely to be kind pure. He will also have some kind of expectation, at least a respect from the person who helped to, at least like the minimum. So they will also like having that thing that we will have again in exchange. But the pure kindness is like when you are kind for some purpose, that you are kind, this is genuine you do not expect anything from the other person. Even you do, for example, you help someone and that person did not understand that you helped them, and that person is backbiting or talking, and it happen in many cases. So in that case, you don't have to worry. You help him and look at him what he's doing. If you're truly kind, just let it, because you did it for some purpose to be kind, and that's all.
Okay, so in this kind of situation, I share with you the same thing applies to me as well. I think if somebody is doing certain things, I still perceive it in my own background. Yeah, but what I want to know now, which way forward in a society? Or do we keep mistrusting? Or do we keep not being kind to people simply because of our background? Or do we keep society in disarray, disharmony, without peace, simply because I came from a scattered home or background? So, which way forward? Do we stop being kind? Or do we stop being whatever we perceive to be kind? Do we stop?
No, I think beside the doubt, I will still believe that there is truly kindness from other people, and actually I won't stop to be kindness to other persons.
Okay, you won't stop,
Yeah.
despite whatever it is. How about you, Mr. Gallo?
No, I think I can't stop being kind if I see myself in the position of showing kindness to someone,
Despite.
the way the person perceives the kindness. But to me, if someone is showing me kindness, I will also have to think critically if this kindness is actually worth it, or if this person is showing me this kindness because of what he or she might get from me in future, or something that I have to pay back later.
Okay, wonderful. You, do we stop?
No, I don't think we should stop showing kindness to other people just because of a few people who have disappointed us. Because still, people will always be people. You will choose to show kindness to someone, and for them, because they have maybe their other intentions or they've not appreciated, they will not really appreciate what you did for them. And so that one person, you cannot just let that one person make you also a bad person, because they are really people you'll show kindness to. There are people who will show kindness to, and they will really appreciate you for that, and they will also be able to show kindness to other people just because of you, one person. So
we continue.
yes, despite we really continue. However, yes, it is really difficult. However, some people really have been so much heartbroken and disappointed to the extent that they really hate doing anything with people. It happens.
There was a man that was very kind to me, and when he was sick, I was not aware he was sick, and when he died, I think I'm still regretting it today because it just have not responded. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I mean,
Because you are not aware.
yeah, I wasn't aware, but I'm supposed to be aware. Why shouldn't I be aware? When he was helping me, I was aware. I was asking about her, about him. But then why can't I be asking about him any longer? And he became old and he died, and I am still feeling it.
You know, also sometimes people, they get, because of the experiences, people get bad at asking people how they are. Some people don't ask because of the experiences go through.
Actually, life is filled with so many things. Okay, continue.
If you are talking about this kindness, I have to also talk about, I keep talking about myself because it's me. I don't know about other people. Before I played this role of Messiah. I have this Messiah syndrome.
Messiah.
Yeah, I have this Messiah syndrome in my
Messiah
head.
mentality.
Yeah, thinking that maybe if I don't help this person, the person will not get the help.
Yeah.
Until I started seeing the backside of people that you actually brought out yourself and did everything possible for them to achieve what they want to achieve. But when they get to that point, they will not see you as they don't need you anymore. Even they will even look for a way to try to pull you down. So it's actually changed my perspective about showing kindness. It's actually changed my perspective of helping. Before I help now, I have to think. Does this person really need this help? What if I'm not there? Will this person still cope? Like from the society where we come, from Nigeria, most places, if one person has money, it's money for all. So now you find out that some people have families and they have like 3 children or 4 children, and they'll be expecting you to pay their fees whenever they want to pay for school fees. They will remember to call you. Please, my child wants to pay school fees and I don't have money. Please, can you help to pay? Now, I have to ask, this school fees is not an urgent stuff. It's something that comes periodically. And you as the parent, you're supposed to work hard to make sure you get this money to pay for your school fees for your children. So does it mean that if I don't give you this money, that these children will no longer go to school, that you will not cater for your kids? So did you just give birth to these children for me to be training them for you? Then when these children later make it in life, then they will come back to you and they will now start shouting, oh, this is my children. And then you'll be boasting that you trained your kids. So I now find out that even if you don't give this type of kindness, they will still survive. They will still do what they want to do. So for me, the kindness I show now is something that I have already calculated and see that, okay, this person really needs this help. Maybe let's say in terms of health, I know that it's not something that the person really planned for and is about life and death here. So I can come in and do something. But if it's something that I know it's not urgent, it's something that you already know, it's projected that from so time you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. Sometimes, even if I want to help, I'm not going to do it 100%. I'll just help as a helper, no longer taking the burden on my head. So I think because of experiences I've gotten from people, that is why my own type of kindness is reshaped to people that actually needs it, not just something that I can just give to everybody.
Okay. Anyway, why we're here, Vic, and remember, when you are in my class, you don't do anything else, please. Why we are here is just, of course, I am here as a teacher. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It does not mean that I am better than any of you here. No, that is not the point. The point is that I am supposed to do my responsibility to teach about the class. But maybe after the class, I am, of course, if we see in the Sikon or the mall, we're just normal. But in the classroom at the moment, this is a student, this is a teacher. So it does not mean that I am better than anybody. So, but then in my own class, I tried for all of us to reason together. So we're talking about peace. You cannot get actually the definition of peace very well if you don't understand the background of the person talking about peace or background of the person talking about kindness. Very, very important. For me, I believe kindness is kindness, whether the person has selfish interest or not, because it's our nature to be selfish.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I believe we are human. If I tell you that I'm being kind to you, come on. Why should I be kind, only kind? There must be something there. It's natural. Maybe I'm being kind to you. For example, you're here. I'm being kind to you so that you'll be here, so that we have more students in our department.
And pay school fees. And pay school fees so that you also.
And then pay school fees so that the school will also pay me my salary. You see that? And I'm being kind to you maybe so that you talk good about me to other lecturers or my boss. So my boss will say, okay, up you are trying. Kindness is kindness. But the point is that this kindness is given by human with other things surrounding human. Now that's his interest, selfish interest. But the point is that when it becomes dangerous, there's just like you are giving kindness to a man giving kindness to a lady with the intention to take her to your room for sexual gratification. You see that? It's a different thing. So when the kindness is situated towards a kind of a negative thing to society, it's something else. But when we talk about kindness, we talk about peace. So long as we're talking about peace, we are human that yearn for peace. But the nature, the way we are designed, you find that I try to meet up your needs and wants, you may likely cause unrest. But the issue is that when you discover it, you come back to it, say sorry for this person, sorry, I apologize for this or that. Or are you doing something with the intention to getting somebody be sacked from his job? Or maybe you are trying to create situation where someone, you presume that he's being kind because he's being selfish. So you started talking against him, or some other person started to talk against him, you join in the group. So I think we know, for me, we know when we are kind and we know when we are selfish. If you ask me, I know that very well. So, but then, just as all of us share the idea, and I agree with that, there is no kindness without anything. That is why some people, they call them monks, they go to the monk. The reason, I think one of the reasons could be so that they will not be that they are needing something. So that's why we see a religious person, a priest, a Hinduist, a Buddhist, when they try to be kind, we may tend to think, yes, they are kind, maybe because they don't have children, they don't have wife, so they only have themselves. But even among them, you still see human nature. So what we're trying to say here is that our perception matter a lot. But then if you sit in the class to learn, we might keep modulating it and being aware of it. I don't think that when we know things, it means that we will not do other things. For me, I think when we know something, we become aware of it. Being aware of it, being conscious of it, will enable us for the next step. If I'm being kind, yes. You are being kind, yes. For what purpose? We can't be in the world without kindness, do we?
No.
Otherwise, somebody will take a gun and shoot all of us here. We can't stay in the world without kindness. You can't be in the MAP department without kindness. Just be kind, irrespective of the interpretation. But then always remember that you learned in the class, or maybe you did a research, that the person being kind is also human, suggesting that it's possible that the kindness might be directing towards another direction. Then if you are a mature person, integrated person, you'll be able to hold it. And sometimes we need to help somebody who is weak. Maybe I'm a thief, for instance. And you know, if you give me this thing, I mean, if you keep this thing here, you will not see it again. Then why keeping it? You should leave it, you take it away from, don't get into the temptation or problem of where you begin explaining. So what we're trying to say that it's not just for us to think about peace in this course as absence of war, or where there is I think it's in paradise or in heaven. You see that kind. Peace is here within us. We seek for it. But believe it or not, we have to be aware. It doesn't come without anything. It comes within the human nature that we are. And that is where we have challenge. And what is humility? Some people say, humility is because you know who you are. You know you're a thief. And you know you're very good, even though you're a thief. Also, you have your good part. You are a very kind person, but you're also a thief. Humility is accepting who you are before you are creator. So what we are trying to say is that we have to be in mind that our concepts, our notions, our definitions often are tailored within our background. And that is where we started this class from. And that's why when you look at this guy, if you have met a model like him, this young guy, you say he's a model. If you have met someone that's a student that looks like that, he's a student, because most of us think people like this are in school, but most people are not in school like this as well. Then gang leader. If you have had experience of a gang leader looking like this and the eyes looking like his eye, the way he's positioned, definitely you say he's a gang leader. So that's same thing about kindness. If you have met somebody who tried to be kind, but at the end something negative came, yeah, you'll be conscious of that. You might. Are you there? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Look at this one as well. Look at this man. Is he a professor? Is he a refugee or fundamentalist? So if you are coming from the Middle East, you'll define better, because this is looks like Middle East person, right?
Yeah.
Somebody might easily say is a fundamentalist. Then if you are from Rohingya as a group, and the people who are refugees, then you can easily say is a refugee if you have experienced such. Then if you have met a professor exactly like him, there's every tendency that you say is a professor. Is that not? But the fact is that our experience, our analysis, our philosophy of environment or life or religion actually determine a lot in our mindset. And the same applies to what you think about peace. So look at this man. Is he an actor? Is he a farmer? Is he a gypsy? All depends on experience you've had. See this one? Is he a doctor, medical doctor? Have you seen medical doctor like this before? Vic, have you seen medical doctor looking like this before? Then taxi driver, have you seen taxi driver look like this before? Jawad. Maybe human rights activists. Have you seen human rights activists look like this before? Those from Africa will easily interpret. Like those of us in Middle East, Asia can. I think this is like Mexico. Yeah, exactly. But those in Middle East can easily answer for this one and claim like this, but those in Africa may not. And those in North America, South America, can easily pinpoint this one. And Africans can easily say one or two things here. How about this one? Is that like nuts or drug dealer? Dealer. Of course, he looks like American and European. You see that? That is what we're suffering in the world of today. So we talk about peace. What do you mean by peace? Is what America means by peace is what you're talking about? What do we mean by peace in Afghanistan? What do you mean by peace in Vietnam? What do you mean by peace in Uganda? And what do you mean by peace in Nigeria? You see? Then look at this one. Is there a tech genius, drug addict, social worker? I'm sure as you are looking at it, you are having.
Seems I know her shop in Spoonvit.
You see, interpretation. But what I'm trying to drive in, no matter the interpretation you have, always remember we are human. And for me, I will try my best to help Jawad succeed in his studies, whether he's selfish or not. The most important is that you succeed. For me, I'll try to help Vic, succeed in her studies. Whether I have any other intention or not, the most important thing is to make sure you succeed. That's why you are here, right? For me, I will try to make sure that Nkalo succeeds because he has a good intention to come and develop himself academically. For me, I try to make sure and use every power within me to make sure that Dennis succeeds. I think if we go with this mind, but then, even as I am doing this, does it mean that I'm not human?
Oh, yeah.
Does it mean that I'm not human? With human selfish interest, with human shortcomings. But the issue is that whether you are integrated enough, mature enough to take me along with that. The same thing applies to you, the same thing applies to you, the same thing applies to you, and the same applies to me too. Because we cannot be too timid and too serious with life. I am your teacher. My interest should be to make sure you learn something you paid for. Not just to come to class, blah, 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 and then dismiss. Most students, they like that. And to make sure that you also get the degree you are looking for. So goal is very, very important. So look at it here, as we say, a different thing altogether, depending on where you're coming from. Okay, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at Myanmar's Asian, yeah. Is he a beautician, indigenous person, or teacher? Have you ever seen teacher like this? It depends on where you are coming from. Yeah. This one is the economist, trafficking victim, immigrant. So the bottom line is that when you are going home today, you have in mind about the concept, perception. Perception. But it is up to you to harness it positively or keep using it in a way that it doesn't benefit the society. Perception. You have never had anything to do with an African, but the one African you have something to do with might give you wrong impression about Africa. Then you say, oh, all Africans are like that. I've not even had anything to do with the Vietnamese. You are the first. So, but the way you relate with me may give me good impression of Vietnamese or bad impression of Vietnamese. Sometimes we carry things along like that, which it shouldn't be. You treat each person according to. Because this person is not a representative of Vietnamese. He's a representative of himself, herself. Afghanistan, I've had 3 Afghanistan students here. Then, which one will I follow? Do I follow the first one with the experience I had of him? Or do I follow you with the experience I had of you? Then, I'm a Nigerian and this is a Ugandan. You see, the problem is but then let us be aware that some continent Some continents, some countries behave certain ways that sometimes they have certain behavioral pattern in common. Some countries that experience war may have problem with mistrust, depending. Some countries that have political instability may have problems with trust. It depends. While some countries that are peaceful may just, not that they trust you, but they don't see anything to bother himself or herself about whatever you're talking about, because life for them is just normal. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? How about you?
Yeah.
And you? So that is what we battle in life. So if we understand it, we also tend to put it in our concept of peace, so that we understand what peace as we get into the definition of peace. Because just like most of you said, peace is harmony, yes? Peace is also keeping rules and regulations. Peace is also you understanding that I'm human. Peace is also me understanding that you are human. Are you guys there? So peace is not only just one way. Just go home today understanding this perception of a thing. No matter how you perceive me, don't remove the fact that I'm human. No matter how I perceive you, I wouldn't remove the fact that you're also human. Are you there?
Yeah.
Sure? So any question? So that let it be that this is the one we are going home today. Any question? Do you have any clarification?
Yeah.
Any question? Anybody, any question, any clarification? What do you understand today? Let's round up. Let's begin with Jawad. What do you understand in today's class as you go home?
We understand that you should have good perception from people.
Good what?
Perception.
Good?
Yeah, because like the peace, we were talking about the peace and talking about human behavior and interaction with each other and how to live peacefully and how we are human. As a human, we live with a human, we should respect each other. And it should be having like the help, as you mentioned, is like is a nature, is with every human
Yeah.
being, is we are born with that. This is another thing some people have seen a different circumstances, like some betrayal, something like cheated, and then some they give up, some they carry on. But as a natural, you will carry on. You cannot give up on that. Even though sometimes you feel broken, fall, but you have to come up and carry on as long we live, because we cannot change our gender.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Vic, what are you going home with today?
As I understand, there is different background. They will give you different perspective or opinion on the matter. But however, no matter you are from different backgrounds, the kindness still from the humanity nature that you was born
Perfect.
with, and we should carry on the kindness, since the kindness is somehow is part of the peace that should be raising around the world. So people should have carry on the kindness, which is the nature of humanity. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love the word humanity measure. You use a very powerful word, humanity measure. Thank you very much. Okay, Nkalo.
Okay. What I understand in today's class is that we shouldn't judge people by their looks. We shouldn't judge people by or generalize a group of people to be based on what one person did. And the peace is also actually understanding that we are all human and we have our own shortcomings, and we also have the good part of us. So somebody that is good can also be bad, because good people also do bad things. So, but that doesn't mean that the good side of the person should be ignored and the bad side of the person should be ignored. Even in as much as we shouldn't judge people by their looks or their this, but that perception shouldn't still be ignored because it might be right in what you're thinking about the person, because sometimes the body language speaks louder than the voice.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay.
So my takeoff today would be perceiving peace in from different backgrounds and perspectives. Then also not to judge depending on a minor or depending on a minor representative, or just because one person has done something to you, and then you have to generalize it to the whole group of people, and then peace being you being respective to another person or another person's opinions, because the way we perceive things is different. We are different people. How I'll take something is different from how you will see it. I might do something thinking it is good in my own understanding, and then you, the other person, you'll not take it to be a good thing because you have your reasons and you have a different way of thinking and a different way of seeing things.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, I'm very glad that we understand it in this way, and I do hope that the class is not just for academic, but the class is also for humanity. You use the word humanity knowledge, humanity area. Very, very important. Whether we like it or not, we're in the world. We are human. Just as I said, the most important thing is for me as the lecturer in the department to assist the students as much as I can, whether I'm selfish or not. But then selfishness, why it is very dangerous is when it doesn't lead to the goal. My goal should be to assist all my students to make sure they get registered, to make sure whether those who are battling with finances, they still get registered and then keep pursuing their goal. This should be but it doesn't mean, and that's what I'm trying to let us understand as well, it does not mean that even as I do, it doesn't mean I'm not selfish because I'm human. But then the issue that let that selfishness does stop the goal, my goal and your goal. Because that's what we call challenges. We keep challenging, we keep experiencing a lot of things in life. But then you came in here to get your master's degree. Is that not the aim? Is that not the goal? So whatever I do should be to accompany you towards achieving that goal. But it does not mean that both you and myself we are not selfish. Because sometimes you maybe have the money, but you use the money for your business. While I use my office to ask the university to please allow you. You see that? But you are using the money for something else instead of coming to the university to pay for it. But I now came up with my office to assist you with our department to get the university, get you registered, to maintain your goal. Of course, I'm doing that to keep my students in our department. At the same time, you are holding back your money for your business. You see how it links? So it's not just one way, it's also two ways. But the point is that the goal of keeping it is for business to make more money for some people, right? And if you make more money, you come back to pay for it. Then the goal of also making sure that that you are there is to make sure that our department is producing students, and we're getting the academic accreditation and academic recognition that we need, or departmental approval. You get that? Just as he said earlier, there's nothing, I will agree, there's nothing that goes for nothing. But for me, the most important thing, let the goal move towards, let the interest move towards a common goal, common good. common interest for everybody. So at the end of the day, you smile with your degree. At the end of the day, I come and shake hands for you as a student that graduated from my department. You see that? Are you there? Any comment about that? So that's what the way we'll end the class of today, perception and concept of peace and concept of common good in a society.